Hello everyone, I am Kanakalakshmi working as faculty of English in Sanjeev College of Arts and Sciences. Welcome to the online classes of CSS3. Today I would like to share with you some very important information about paragraph writing from Unit 2. Well, in my presentation I will focus on the importance of paragraph writing, steps in the process of developing a paragraph, features of a good paragraph, structure of paragraph, types of paragraphs and the general rules for writing a good paragraph. So let me start by explaining the definition and importance of paragraph writing first. What is a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of sentences that are organized or developed on a specific topic. Well, sometimes it is considered as a mini essay. But the basic difference between a paragraph and an essay is that an essay discusses many aspects of a topic, whereas a paragraph focuses on a single aspect. A paragraph needs at least 3 to 5 sentences. It should include topic sentences, supporting sentences, and concluding sentences, etc. A paragraph writing is not just expressing your views about the topic in a group of sentences. It is all about constructing ideas in a clear format to make the reader interesting with the topic and continue their reading till to the end of the topic. Paragraphs are often thought of as a unit, and it is considered as the smallest unit of writing. Usually, a paragraph explains one idea in detail and supports the expansion of an overall topic for the essay. Paragraph length will vary based on the purpose of the topic. A series of long paragraphs can make prose unpleasant to read, so break it at a logical place and see whether you need to create new topic sentences to make it interesting. And our next issue is the 5-step process to develop a paragraph. Paragraph development begins with a central idea. This idea directs the paragraph's development, like what is the topic sentence, what does it do, or like that. Second step, elaborate on the central idea. It can be done with an explanation, implication, or statements about the significance of the topic, like what are the supporting sentences and what do they explain, like that. And step 3, try to give an example. A paragraph development processes with an example that illustrates the points made in the previous sentences. Step 4, explain the examples. The explanation should demonstrate the value of the example as evidence to support the main points. And step 5, complete the topic with a conclusion. It involves tying up the loose ends of a paragraph. It is the end of the paragraph which is also known as final statement about the topic. If you follow these 5 elements properly while writing a paragraph, then your paragraph will be more attractive and interesting to the readers. Now I would like to explain about the features of a good paragraph. Paragraphs are typically a group of sentences, and the sentences are organized in a way that make a well-ordered paragraph. Good paragraph writing has some qualities that binds the readers, and these qualities make the paragraph interesting. As the whole paragraph represents a single sense or thought, the sentences should be related to the main point of the paragraph. A good paragraph is a combination of unity, coherence, cohesion, balance, variety, and emphasis. Let us first focus on unity. A paragraph deals with one main thought, so all the sentences should be related to the main point of the paragraph. An effective paragraph has unity when its body parts clearly relates to its topic sentences. Like that, supporting details should explain the main idea, and the concluding sentence should end the paragraph with the same idea. Thus, a unified paragraph presents a thought, supports it with adequate details, and completes it with a conclusion. Next, coherence. Coherence means establishing a relationship between the ideas presented in a paragraph. What I mean to say is, coherence in a paragraph means that the ideas are arranged in an order. If there is a logical order, then it is easy to read and understand the paragraph. In a well-ordered paragraph, the reader follows along easily because order helps the reader grasp the meaning and avoid confusion. You can use some transition words that show order, like firstly, secondly, furthermore, in addition to, compare, contrast, add, shows, etc. Number 3, cohesion. Cohesion is connecting the supporting sentences to build a close and proper link between sentences by using conjunctions. Conjunctions like and, or, though, definite article, the, and subordinating conjunctions like that, because, and when, etc. Personal pronouns like it, this, etc. It is important to use cohesion to avoid too much repetition. And examples for using conjunctions. Krishna studies at the university and he works at the canteen. Here we use and, the conjunction, to link the two sentences. Next, definite article. This should surprise you. I am the topper in the mid-exams. Here we have used a definite article, the. Next, for subordinating conjunction, the example is, when we went to college, we found the college gates closed. Here we have used when, a subordinating conjunction. Next, for pronouns, my sister sent me a laptop. It is made in South Korea. Here we have used it as the link between the two sentences. Next, balance. The balance of the paragraph depends on the proper distribution of emphasis. A balanced paragraph is made up of not only in length but also in grammatical structure and meaning. Make your paragraph proportional to your paper. Aim for 3 to 5 sentences per paragraph. Sometimes the central idea is not properly discussed in the beginning and is discussed in the middle part of the paragraph or even in the end, which leads to confusion, or sometimes the importance of the topic may be diluted. So, care should be taken to see that the main idea is expressed and the closing paragraph is concluded with a firm note which justifies the main idea. Next, fifth one is variety. To avoid the monotony, different types of sentences like simple, complex, and compound sentences should be used in paragraph writing. Adding variety to your writing keeps people interested and keep the emphasis. Here are some examples for variety of sentences. For simple sentence, if you write we must eat to live, then it will be converted into compound sentence like we must eat or we cannot live. And if we convert into complex sentence, the same sentence, it will be changed like this: we must eat lest we won't live. Here lest is the word used as an expression for denoting fear. Next, emphasis. Emphasis is the principle of the paragraph composition in which the important ideas are made to stand. So it is very important that the main points of the topic should be developed, and the idea which has been developed in a paragraph must determine the arrangement and the relative importance of the subpoints. There are certain elements in achieving emphasis in the paragraph, like in establishing emphasis by position, in establishing emphasis by repetition, and in establishing emphasis by climatic order. In establishing emphasis by position, it should be considered that the important matter should be put at the beginning and at the end. In establishing emphasis by repetition, the idea is repeated in different words to impress the readers more forcefully with what the writer is trying to say. In establishing emphasis by climatic order, like the details must be arranged from least important details or simple details to the most important details of the idea. Next, let us move on to the next element, structure of a paragraph. Paragraphs play an important role in writing because they provide a framework for organizing your ideas in a logical order. Any kind of deviation will spoil the structure of the paragraph. Using a clear structure for your paragraphs helps to guide the reader. A useful way of understanding paragraph structure is to think of it as a block and that is divided into three sections. The beginning, that is introduction, the middle part, that is the body, and the closing part, that is the end, concluding part. A basic paragraph always follows this structure. First, let us discuss about a topic sentence, the beginning. A topic sentence is a sentence that contains the main idea, so it is needed to state one idea clearly. Always put the most important information first because the first sentence tells your readers what the paragraph is about. It gives a sample of what the paragraph is going to be about. The readers should be able to quickly identify the main ideas and the scope of your paragraph simply by reading topic sentence. Number 2, body, the middle part, that is supporting details. The body of a paragraph explains, develops or supports the topic sentence's main idea. The supporting details elaborates and explains the idea which is introduced in the topic sentence. You can give specific evidence and examples as supporting details. And your supporting details should also include some more in-depth analysis and evaluation. The most important thing to remember is that all your supporting details must relate to the topic sentence. And the next one is concluding part, the end. Finally, your paragraph will usually have a concluding sentence. Your concluding sentence should tie back to your topic sentence. I mean to say, the concluding sentence essentially restates the main idea of the paragraph. The concluding statement clearly summarizes the conclusion to draw from the supporting details presented in the body of the paragraph. Restating the main point of the paragraph in the last sentence ensures that the reader has a clear understanding of the writer's interpretation. Next, let us focus on the next important element, types of paragraphs. It is important to know how to use each paragraph type for the right purpose. Based on the nature of the subject discussed in the paragraph and the style of writing, paragraphs are divided into three types, and these types allow you to write about absolutely anything that you want. Number 1, the descriptive paragraph. This type of paragraph describes something and shows the reader what a person or thing is like. It contains a series of sentences with descriptive details which makes a picture of what the writer is trying to describe. Writers usually employ adjectives in this type. The descriptive paragraph type is not only used to engage your audience's five senses like smell, taste, sight, sound and touch, but also their feelings. Descriptive paragraphs are powerful tools for fiction writers as these paragraphs are responsible for setting the stage. Remember, the descriptive type is used to paint a picture in the reader's mind. Next, the explanatory or expository paragraph. This type of paragraph explains something or provides instruction. This type of paragraph often requires research because the writer has to give the details of information in support of the topic sentence. You will achieve this goal by presenting facts, statistics and other data required to back up the solution. These paragraphs may contain directions in a logical and linear manner. Remember, this type is used to inform and educate the reader. Next one, the narrative paragraph. This type of paragraph tells a story. There will be a sequence of action or there is a clear beginning, middle and end to the paragraph. This type is written to relate an experience or to narrate an incident. Use stories to create an emotional connection with your readers by making them feel the pain or pleasure by relating to the characters. They could be about yourself, past incidents, or some fictional characters. A narrative paragraph includes action, events, and exciting descriptive words. Remember, a narrative type is used to bring the reader along your character's emotional journey. Now, let us focus on the general rules for writing a good paragraph. Writing paragraphs takes practice, but it allows the students to write about what they know and like so that their focus can be on the writing process. First of all, we must make our paragraphs short but not too short. The length of the paragraph depends on the matter to be put into it. Some transition words must be used to help readers understand the connection and relation between the ideas or sentences of the paragraph. Transition words like for introduction, you can use in addition to, moreover, besides, also, etc. To introduce an example, you can use for instance, such as, namely, etc. To express an opposite idea, you can use in contrast, on the other hand, whereas, like that. To list in an order, you can use firstly, next, finally, after that, etc. To introduce a statement, you can use in fact, as a matter of fact, like that. And to summarize, you can use in short, to sum up, finally. To express a cause, you can use for, because, since, etc. The ideas and facts should be arranged in order of their importance and relate with one another. It is better to first decide the type of paragraph which suits the subject best, like whether descriptive, narrative, or any philosophical type. Use a new paragraph to introduce a contrasting or different position. If the paragraph becomes too long or the matter is overly complex, you will need to create a break to make your writing more readable. Try to split long paragraphs into two shorter paragraphs. Introduction and conclusions are usually written as separate paragraphs. So, dear students, if you follow all these elements properly while writing any paragraphs, then your paragraph will be more attractive and interesting to the readers. To practice your paragraph writing skills, start writing topics on various categories like special events, or on technology, or on famous and inspiring legends, etc. Learning about how to write a perfect paragraph, having knowledge about types of paragraphs and paragraph format, etc. will benefit you at any time in your life while writing paragraphs on any topic. Well, that brings us to the end of our session on paragraph writing. Thanks for joining us. Thank you.